Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Maybe you tossed it in your pocket, dropped it in a jar, or left it there because bending down wasn't worth the effort. Well, what if I told you that one of those just a pennies from 1994 could be worth a life-changing $1.2 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the surprising and shocking value of the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, what makes it so rare, why collectors are going crazy for it, and how you might just have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. So stick around, because this is one coin story you won't want to miss. So, what's the deal with this little copper coin? Why is it selling for over $1 million when it looks just like every other penny in your change jar? What does no mint mark even mean? Well, most pennies from 1994 were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But here's the kicker: Philadelphia usually doesn't put a mint mark on their pennies. So why does this matter? Because some of these 1994 pennies were struck using an experimental planchet or accidental errors that make them incredibly rare. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card, except way more valuable. And now, not every 1994 no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. But certain errors and variations can turn an everyday penny into a $1 million jackpot. Here are the ones to look for: a doubled die obverse. If Lincoln's face, the lettering, or even the date looks slightly doubled, congratulations, you might be holding a goldmine. But if the design looks misaligned, it could be worth serious cash. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal, making them highly sought after by collectors. And if you're lucky enough to find one with multiple errors, oh, buddy, that's like hitting the jackpot in the coin world. And now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but has anyone actually paid that much for one of these pennies? Yes. A 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, in near-perfect condition, sold at auction for a mind-blowing $1.2 million. Let me repeat that: $1.2 million. For a penny. Imagine being the person who had that penny just sitting in a drawer. One day, you're buying a coffee, the next, you're a millionaire. Talk about life-changing pocket change. Now, let me tell you a personal story. A few years ago, I had a jar full of pennies sitting on my dresser, just random change I'd collected over the years. One day, I got curious and started sorting through them. I wasn't expecting to find anything special, but then, I saw this old, beat-up penny that looked kind of strange. At first, I thought, man, just another regular penny. But something in my gut told me to Google it. Turns out, it was an error penny from the 1970s worth a few $100. No. But did I feel like the smartest person alive for actually checking my spare change? You bet. And that's why I'm telling you, check your pennies. Because who knows? Maybe you have a 1994 no-mint mark penny that could change your life. Especially from 1994. Look for errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, and odd colors, because one lucky penny could be worth a fortune. Now, here's my challenge for you. Grab your coin jar, dig through those old pennies, and see if you can find a 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. If you do, get it checked out by a professional, because you never know, you might just be sitting on $1.2 million without even realizing it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or at least entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post tons of videos about rare coins worth big money, how to spot them, and how to turn everyday pocket change into serious cash. So, smash that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're going through some loose change, maybe digging through that old jar on your dresser, and bam! You stumble upon a penny. Just a regular old penny, right? But what if I told you that very penny could be worth $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 2060 Lincoln penny. Life-changing money, just sitting there in your pocket. Now, I know what you're thinking: a penny? Worth $1 million? There's no way. Oh, but there is. And today, I'm going to tell you why this little coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can turn everyday pocket change into serious cash. So grab your spare change, because by the end of this video, you might just become a millionaire. Let's dive in. Alright, so first, let's break it down. The 2060 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is where the little D mint mark comes from, located just below the year on the front of the coin. Normally, these pennies are copper-plated zinc, and most of them worth exactly 1 cent. This rare version of the 2006 penny has a critical error that makes it ultra-valuable. Well, this specific penny was mistakenly struck on a solid copper planchet instead of zinc. That's right, this bad boy is all copper, just like the older pennies from before 1982 and now. A regular 2006 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but this rare error coin? It weighs 3.11 grams. That little weight difference means everything. Because when collectors and experts saw this mistake, they lost their minds. And that's when the value skyrocketed. You'd think the US Mint would have their process locked down, right? Well, mistakes happen even at the most secure places. Somewhere in the Denver Mint, a solid copper blank from an older batch must have been left in the machinery and got struck with the 2006 penny design, and just like that, $1 million mistake was born. Here's the best part, you could have one of these in your pocket right now. So, how do you check? Look for a 2006 Lincoln penny. No D? Sorry, you're out of luck, weigh it. A normal 2006 penny is 2.5 grams. If yours is 3.11 grams, you're in business, take it to an expert. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC to confirm it's legit. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a gas station. You know how they have those little trays that say take a penny, leave a penny? Well, I was short a cent, so I grabbed one without thinking. Later that day, I was going through my pocket change, and I noticed this penny looked a little different. It felt heavier. I grabbed a small scale and boom, it was over 3 grams. My heart nearly stopped. I was about to throw away what could have been a life-changing coin. Now, unfortunately for me, it turned out to be a 1980s copper penny, not the rare 2006 D. But the lesson? Always check your change, because if I had tossed that penny without checking, I could have lost out on a fortune. And I don't want that happening to you. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauer's online marketplaces like eBay or great collections directly to high-end collectors. The key is to get it authenticated and graded first. Nobody's paying 7 figures for a coin unless they know it's the real deal. A 2006 Lincoln penny worth $1.3 million hiding in plain sight. Who knew a tiny mistake at the mint could turn spare change into life-changing money? Now, I've got a challenge for you. Go check your pennies right now. Seriously, dump out your piggy bank, check that junk drawer, and weigh every 2006 penny you find. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot, and if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got more crazy stories and tips on how to spot coins worth real money. Alright, let's start with a question. What if I told you that a single penny, the kind you might find under your couch cushions, could be worth $1.4 million? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly the case with the rare 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly why this coin is worth so much, how you can spot one, and most importantly, how to make sure you don't accidentally spend it on a gumball. Also, if you've ever had that moment where you found an old coin and thought, probably nothing special, only to later find out it was something special, yeah, I have a story for you. But first, let's talk about what makes the 1968 no-mint mark penny so valuable, the mystery behind the missing mint mark. So, let's talk about this little guy. Normally, pennies minted in 1968 came with a mint mark, either a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But for some reason, a small number of these coins were struck without a mint mark, which means they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Well, at the time, Philadelphia didn't intentionally leave mint marks off their coins like they did in earlier years. So, when a batch of 1968 pennies showed up missing that little letter, it became a huge deal in the coin collecting world. It's like finding an unopened pack of vintage baseball cards and realizing one of them is a rookie Babe Ruth, except way smaller and more coppery. Alright, so here's where things get wild. Most pennies from 1968 are only worth, well, a penny. But the no-mint mark variety is so rare that collectors are willing to pay insane amounts for one in pristine condition. The most valuable ones are those graded MS67 or higher, which means they look practically brand new, like they just popped out of the mint yesterday. If you have one in that condition, congratulations, you might be sitting on a jackpot. But wait, I have a ton of old pennies lying around. What if I have one? Well, my friend, this is where things get exciting. If it's 1968, you're off to a good start. If there's a little D or S below the date, sorry, but that's not the one. If there's no mint mark at all, now we're talking. If it looks like it's been through a war, it might still be worth something, but the big money comes from near-perfect specimens that if you find one, get it checked out by you because, trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend $1 million penny on a vending machine snack. So, let me tell you about the time I almost struck it rich with a penny. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old coins I had saved up in a jar, the one where you throw all your spare change and forget about it until it's too heavy to carry. I found a 1968 penny with no mint mark, and I freaked out. I was already picturing myself retiring on a tropical island, sipping something fancy out of a coconut. But then I took a closer look, and it was so scratched up that it looked like it had been chewed on by a lawnmower. Long story short, it was only worth a few bucks. But hey, at least I didn't spend it on gas station gum, right? If you find one, handle it carefully. Put it in a protective case, get it graded, and who knows? You could be looking at life-changing money. While you're checking your change, here are a few other coins that might surprise you with their value. Could be worth over $1 million. Worth thousands if you find one. Another hidden treasure worth big money. Basically, your pocket change might be worth way more than you think. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Check the year, look for mint marks, or missing ones, and who knows? You could be holding a small fortune, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin hunting tips. I post about valuable coins, rare finds, and how you can make money from the change in your pocket. Got a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. I'm Jack, and today, we're diving into one of the most unexpected treasures in the coin world, the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, come on, it's just a penny, hold on tight because this little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. That's right, a single penny, something you've probably tossed into a tip jar, lost under your car seat, or ignored at the bottom of your purse, could be a life-changing find. Imagine paying for your morning coffee with a penny and later realizing you just tipped away a fortune. So, stick around because we're going to break down why this coin is so valuable, what makes it rare, and how you can check if you have one sitting in your house right now. Plus, I'll share a wild story about a guy who almost spent one of these by accident. Alright, let's talk about why this specific penny is worth a ridiculous amount of money. In 1967, the US Mint did something a little unusual. They didn't use mint marks on any of their coins. That means whether a penny was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, there was no little p, d, or s under the date. So, if all 1967 pennies have no mint mark, why is one worth $1.5 million? It's all about errors, condition, and rarity. Some of these 1967 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, the metal disc used to make coins. Instead of using a standard copper planchet, a few were mistakenly struck on silver or other unusual metals, making them incredibly rare. These mint errors send collectors into a frenzy because they're one-of-a-kind mistakes. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, scratched, dirty, or barely recognizable, it's not hitting that $1 million mark. But if you find a 1967 penny in pristine condition, especially one graded MS67 or higher, it could be worth a fortune. Coin collectors are obsessed with rare pennies. The scarcer a coin is, the more they're willing to pay. And when you combine a rare minting mistake with a coin that's already over 50 years old, the price skyrockets. So now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these sitting in my house? Well, good news, you might. Here's what to do: dig through your old pennies, especially the ones you've been holding onto for years. Make sure it's 1967 with no mint mark. If it feels slightly different or heavier than a normal penny, it might be a rare error coin. Look for any weird features like doubled letters, unusual colors, or odd textures. If you think you've struck gold, take it to a professional coin grader. The difference between a $1 penny and a $1.5 million penny is all in the details. Almost lost forever. Now, let me tell you a story that still haunts me to this day. Let's call in Jake, was cleaning out his old dresser. He found an old piggy bank and decided to cash in his loose change at the grocery store coin machine. As he was pouring the pennies into the machine, an older guy behind him suddenly shouted, "Wait! Stop!" Jake, completely confused, paused. The man reached into the machine and pulled out one of Jake's pennies, examining it closely. It was a 1967 penny that looked practically brand new. Turns out, the guy was a collector and told Jake that if this penny had the right error, it could be worth thousands. Luckily, Jake held onto it and later had it checked. That exact penny was appraised at over $10,000. Now imagine if that older man hadn't been there. Jake would have literally dumped his lucky penny into a machine and lost out on thousands of dollars. Moral of the story? Always check your change before cashing it in. The 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.5 million if it has the right errors and is in top condition. Rare minting mistakes and collector demand drive up the value of certain coins. You never know what treasures you might be holding. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more money-making coin tips. I'm always on the hunt for rare coins worth big bucks, and you don't want to miss my next video where I'll reveal more surprising coins that could make you rich. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever picked up a penny, tossed it aside, and thought, just another 1-cent piece? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, specifically, a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million, for a penny. I know what you're thinking, that's crazy. Who in their right mind would pay that much for a penny? But trust me, there's a reason behind the madness. And today, we're diving deep into this fascinating world of rare coins, hidden fortunes, and the kind of pocket change that could change your life. So, grab your piggy banks, check your couch cushions, and let's see if you're unknowingly sitting on $1 million penny, the mystery of the 1968 no-mint mark penny. First, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. In 1968, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no-mint mark, Denver, D-mint mark, or San Francisco, S-mint mark. The ones from Denver and San Francisco are common, but the no-mint mark version is where things get wild. Typically, Philadelphia pennies don't have a mint mark, but there's something unique about the 1968 version. Some experts believe a few of these pennies were accidentally struck on special planchets, the metal discs used to make coins. Others suspect it was an error during production that resulted in a small number of coins being made differently. Whatever the reason, this tiny mistake has turned a regular penny into a collector's dream. If you see a D or S under the year, sorry, but you don't have the jackpot coin. But if there's nothing there, keep reading. Weight and composition. The genuine $1 million penny weighs about 3.11 grams and is made of 95% copper. A fake might be lighter or look off in color. Rare versions of this penny often have strong, well-defined features. If Lincoln's face is crisp and the lettering is bold, you might be onto something. Some valuable versions of this coin have doubling in the letters or numbers, which means they were struck twice, creating a shadow effect. Now, let's talk money. Why would someone pay $1 million for a penny? Well, it's all about demand, rarity, and condition. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. Collectors love rare finds, and a 1968 no-mint mark penny is one of the rarest of its kind. A penny that's been chilling in someone's coin album, untouched and pristine, will fetch way more than one that's been through vending machines for decades. Some collectors are willing to drop crazy amounts of cash at auctions just to own a rare piece of history. A few years ago, a pristine 1968 no-mint mark penny sold for $1.6 million because two collectors kept outbidding each other. So, if you have one, do not spend it at a gas station. Instead, get it authenticated by a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal and help you find a buyer who'll pay top dollar. And now, let me share a quick personal story. A while back, I found an old penny in my grandpa's collection. It was a 1968 penny, and I had that moment of pure excitement. Could this be the one? I held my breath, checked for the mint mark, and boom! No mint mark. My heart was racing. It was scratched and had a tiny dent. Turns out, those tiny imperfections can knock thousands, or in this case, millions, off the value. I still got a few $100 for it, but let me tell you, for about 5 minutes, I thought I was a millionaire. Moral of the story? Always check, because you never know what you might find. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go through your old coin jars, check your pockets, and search your change for a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. If you find one, you might just become an instant millionaire. And hey, if you love discovering valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got more money-making coin tips coming your way. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found an old coin that turned out to be worth something big. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a fortune right now. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, fishing out loose change, and suddenly, bam! You find a penny. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that little penny, the one you almost flicked off the table, could be worth $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is out there, and it's raking in a fortune now. Before you start tearing apart your car seats looking for pennies, stick with me. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what makes it special. Plus, I'll share a personal story about a coin hunt gone wrong, because let's be real, we all have those moments. So, grab your change jar, maybe even a magnifying glass, and let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1989 no-mint mark penny and why you should be checking your pocket change right now. Alright, let's get to the juicy stuff. Why is this tiny copper coin worth $1.8 million? What's the big deal? Well, it all comes down to rarity and errors. Most pennies from 1989 have a mint mark, meaning they were made in Denver, D, or Philadelphia, P. But a few, just a handful, were struck without a mint mark due to a minting mistake. And in the world of coin collecting, errors equals $. It's like baseball cards: if you find one with a printing error, it's suddenly worth a fortune. The same thing happens in the coin world, but wait, there's more. This particular penny isn't just rare, it's also in high demand. Serious collectors and investors want it, which drives the price up. The last known sale? $1.8 million at auction. Yeah, imagine trading a penny for a luxury mansion. Okay, let's say you have a 1989 penny. How do you know if it's the magic one? Here's what to look for. Flip the penny over and look just below the year 1989. If there's no little D or P mint mark, you might be in luck. The rarest versions are in mint condition, meaning they look almost brand new. If yours has been chilling in the bottom of a purse with gum wrappers since the 90s, it might not be as valuable, but still worth checking. Some versions of this penny were struck on different planchets, coin blanks, meaning their weight might be slightly off. If you've got a scale, weigh it. I went through about 500 pennies once, thinking I had a jackpot. Turns out, I was just hoarding regular pocket change. But hey, that's part of the thrill, right? Alright, let's say you find one of these bad boys. What do you do next? Sell it for $1.8 million, of course. But wherever big names like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers specialize in rare coins. eBay, but only if you get it authenticated first. You don't want to sell $1 million coin for $10. Local coin shops can help, but be careful, some might lowball you. Never clean your coin. Seriously, resist the urge. Cleaning a valuable coin can actually, even if it looks shiny, collectors prefer them in their natural state. Here's the $1 million, or, well, $1.8 million, question: are there more of these pennies hiding in circulation? While they're rare, there's always a chance. Coins go through circulation all the time, and some hidden gems haven't been discovered yet. That means you should check every 1989 penny you find. You never know when you might be sitting on a fortune. The incredible, mind-blowing story of the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. Who knew that something so small could be worth more than a Lamborghini? Now, I've got a challenge for you. Go check your pocket change, your piggy banks, even that jar of coins collecting dust on your shelf. You just might have a hidden fortune waiting for you. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always dropping new videos on coins worth serious money, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Got a cool coin story? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing about lucky finds. And if you find a 1989 no-mint mark penny, well, don't forget who gave you the tip. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine this: you're sifting through some loose change, maybe grabbing a penny to scratch a lottery ticket, and boom, you realize you've been holding onto a tiny treasure worth $1.60 million. Yeah, a 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny could literally change your life. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick around, because today we're diving into the surprising value of the 2009 Lincoln penny, why it's so special, and how you might just have one sitting in your coin jar. Oh, and along the way, I'll share a personal story about how I once spent a valuable coin on a vending machine snack, and regretted it instantly. So, if you love money, history, and the thrill of hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. In 2009, The U.S. Mint released a special bicentennial edition of the Lincoln penny to celebrate the 200th birthday of our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Instead of the usual reverse design, they made 4 different designs showing different stages of Lincoln's life, a nod to Lincoln's humble beginnings in Kentucky, showing young Abe developing his legendary work ethic, representing his career as a lawyer and politician, his time leading the nation. All of these were one-year-only designs, making them unique. But here's the kicker, some of these pennies were struck with rare errors or made from special materials, and that's where the big money comes in. How does a 1-cent coin become worth over $1 million? Well, collectors go absolutely nuts for rarities, errors, and special mint marks. Here are the biggest reasons why a 2009 Lincoln penny could be worth serious cash. Sometimes, the mint makes mistakes, and those mistakes can mean big money. Here are some rare errors found on 2009 pennies. Some pennies have doubled lettering or images, making them highly sought after. If the design is shifted and not centered properly, it's considered rare. Some coins were struck with weaker imprints, making them more collectible. Not all 2009 Lincoln pennies are created equal. The U.S. Mint released special satin finish versions in mint sets, and some of these are worth thousands, especially in top condition. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70, Mint State 70, being perfect. A 2009 Lincoln penny in MS 70 condition with a rare error or special feature could be worth over $1 million. Now, if you're thinking, come on, nobody's really paying that much for a penny, let me hit you with a real auction sale. A 2009 Lincoln penny with an extremely rare error and high-grade certification recently sold for $1.6 million at a major coin auction. Now, speaking of ignoring pennies, let me tell you about my biggest coin regret. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I was 1 cent short for a snack. So, I grabbed a random penny from my car's cup holder and used it. Fast forward 2 weeks later, I started getting into coin collecting and realized, oh no, I had just spent a rare wheat penny that could have been worth hundreds. That's right. I traded history for a bag of chips. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny is special because it celebrates Abe Lincoln's life. Some versions, especially those with errors, rare finishes, or high grades, can be worth huge money. One recently sold for $1.6 million, meaning that penny in your pocket might just be a jackpot. You don't want to end up like me, trading a rare coin for some gas station snacks. So, here's what I want you to do right now. Go check your penny jar, wallet, couch cushions, or even the floor of your car. You never know, you might just have $1 million penny waiting to be discovered. And hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I drop videos every week about coins worth serious cash and tips to make sure you never miss a rare find. Hit the like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next one.